Good morning. I know I talked about new users and feedback yesterday, but this is one of those moments that I think I will come back to. And this is one of those moments where I'm going to lean on just documenting this, because like this is it. This is the start, you know? Yesterday it's been crazy. Like I don't even know what I'm doing. What I'm finding is that messaging people and leaving comments on school communities and DMing people and whatever else is, there's so much like task switching that it's very hard to get like single focused deep work in. But I mean, I think that's just the nature of this game right now and this activity, is learning how to focus while reaching out to people and holding like all of these different contexts in your mind. Oh, this person was saying that, I'm at that stage with this person, I'm on the third DM, this person, I'm on the first comment, I need to make sure I keep engaging. So it's just a lot. And so I find that I don't have a succinct like picture in my mind of what I did yesterday. But that said, let's see if I can recall it. I got one person in my warm leads who agreed to do a case study and use my software. I don't think he's someone that would actually continue to use it. So we'll see about that. But he said he would get me in contact with some other guys that he knew that were on YouTube in the SMMA space. And then I got another person. So, school has been actually insane right now. I wasn't expecting, I mean, it's been, 2 days, but the success rate, I think I'm at 4 out of 4 right now, which is like not what I was expecting. There was another guy. So I think I said in yesterday's video, I was like, yeah, I left this comment that was like, oh, just great job, keep up the great work. And the guy like obviously looked at my profile and he said something like, thanks, Peter. Oh, I see you're building the next vidIQ. And so I was like, okay, I think there's some interest there. And so I, gave my little script pitch. I was like, hey, anyone come to mind that you think would benefit from this? And he was like, count me in. And he DM'd me. He was like, hey, I'd love to try this. And I was like, what the heck is going on? So got him onboarded. And then I got another person onboarded from a DM. And then I got one piece of feedback from one user that was kind of like meh. In terms of the quality of the feedback, he was like, yeah, the comments and titles and analysis were really useful. And I was like, are you like bullshitting me? Like what? What? So I'm not really sure where he stands, but he signed up for my weekly email summaries. So that's pretty sick. And then I got 2 Loom videos from my mind is blown right now at how many people, because like if you had asked me 2 days ago, I was like, I mean, just like rewatch the video from 2 days ago. I don't even need to tell you. It's like, oh yeah, hitting a plateau. Reach out to all my warm leads, and I'm not really sure what else to do. He's starting to question, like, is this really worth it? And then it's like today, I'm like, what is going on? So anyway, got 2 Loom videos from one guy. It was more like UI design. But it was actually useful because, well, first of all, his points were extremely valid, and I think he uses a big monitor, and so the UI looks weird on the big monitor because the biggest screen that I designed for was like a 16-inch MacBook. So yeah, I'm gonna need to fix that. And he has some good feedback on the layout, but I was like, I mean, like, dude, it's like a beta. The layout is not important to me, you know? It's more about like, okay, give me some slack on the layout, on the UI. Are the titles good for you? Like, are the details good? Are the comments good for you? Like, is this tool useful for you? I didn't say that, but he basically said, you know, okay, like that's my feedback for now. I have a lot more thoughts and suggestions for you, and I'm gonna keep using it, but like that should keep you occupied for now. So I feel like I'm in this state of like, I need to fix his suggestions to unlock the other pieces of feedback from him, which I kind of don't like because UI tweaks is like not the most important thing, but whatever. I value his feedback. He's building his own SaaS, which is pretty cool. So beautiful. The other Loom I got back. This was the guy that my first user. I think, yeah, my first user. And he's the guy who made some videos using the software, and I looked at his videos and they completely flopped. And they still, I checked yesterday, they were still like view count wise not good. So I was like, oh, I'm expecting some, bad feedback from this guy. And he said his biggest thing was, I have this constraint basically on only pulling videos from the last around 90 days because I had the idea or assumption that like what's working right now is most important, but he brought up a lot of good examples and it related back to one of the other users from yesterday of really there are popular videos and outliers, videos that have been posted, a year ago, 2 years ago, 6 years ago, and there's still learnings in that. And so I need to, and I totally agree, just makes it a lot more complicated because the further you go back, the more videos there are, one to analyze, but also that have outperformed. And so I can't just give all of the videos up front, because then it's gonna be like, well, here's your 100 video ideas, which are like all of the videos that ever outperformed. And I think that's gonna be too much data for the user. So I need to figure out some kind of algorithm, some kind of, whether it's just like presenting different, plucking random samples, or some kind of like, you should use this because something else is trending at the moment, and and it relates back to this one 6 years ago, like that would be the most useful. But anyway, he said that was the biggest thing. And he had a couple other little tweaks, but he was like, yeah, man, I used it a lot and it's really good. And he said, I got like a whole bunch of new video ideas, and he showed me his like notes, and it was like 30 new video ideas. And I was like, oh, that is what I want to have happen. So I think that's it from just yesterday. Oh man, craziness. The other thing that's been kind of on my mind is one of the things I've been thinking about as I receive feedback is I tend to be like super skeptical about anything. And there's this book called The Mom Test by Robert Fitzpatrick, I think. And the core idea of the book is essentially, too many people say, oh, I have this great idea, and they go tell their friends, and it was like, I have this great idea, it's gonna be, Uber but for food delivery or something, but for your pets, and like it's gonna be game changing. And then what everybody says in response, because they want to be a good friend, is like, oh wow, that's a great idea. But objectively, taking the feedback of the words, that's a great idea, is incorrect, because, well, it can be incorrect. And so the idea of the book is, how can you design, like, if you have an idea, what questions should you ask that if you were to, I gave a bad example, because the better example is, rather than going to tell 5 friends, they go and tell their mom, who will say like, oh my God, that's an amazing idea, I think you're gonna do so well. Like, it doesn't even matter what the idea would be. And so the idea is, what questions do you ask where you could validate your idea by just talking to your mom? And so it's like, okay, well, when was the last time that you ordered something? Oh, I never order anything. I never use my iPad or whatever. And so it's like, well, okay, if she never orders anything, never uses her iPad, is she really going to use an app that delivers food for her dog or whatever? That's the idea. So I've been very skeptical of all the feedback, trying to be, and trying to see through the gaps of, oh, this is really useful, this is a great tool, this is a great idea. Like, that stuff is not valuable for me. And in fact, it might be anti-valuable, because it gives me the wrong impression if it's not accurate from their perspective. And so I've been asking a lot of questions of like, okay, let's say I fix the things that you brought up. Is this something that you would actually use in your video ideation process? And if not, is there another like underlying feature or some assumption that's needs to be added or needs to be addressed? And I'm hoping that the feedback I get from that, because one of the guys was from yesterday, he said, oh, it depends. It would depend on the reliability. It would depend on, I forget, how much it costs, and how good, like how reliable the results are, So I was like, okay, perfect. So when I design my solution and present it and market it, I need to make sure I hit on, it's a reliable software. It's priced competitively if I want to go for this type of target customer. and like it always hits. It always gets outlier videos. Like, there you go, sold it. That's at least my assumption. But so anyway, that's my status update for today. Things are going better than expected. I'm realizing that things can change very quickly, which also means things could change in the opposite direction very quickly. But I, so far, have been getting a lot of success from school, just like one school community, and just like 4 out of 4 people in that school community. So, and I see a lot more people on YouTube in this school community. So I'm just gonna keep milking it while it's good. Anyway, craziness. See you tomorrow.